Chapter 3. The Queen's Proposal. The corridors outside the king's study had filled with a low-grade tremor, like a distant storm rolling toward the palace. Aides whispered. Footsteps multiplied. Somewhere, an equerry dropped a stack of papers and muttered an apology to no one in particular. News like this, an heir renouncing his birthright, did not settle quietly. It shook walls that were supposed to be unsinkable. But inside the study, the chaos receded to a hush, contained by old shelves and the crackle of a fire that had not yet decided whether to burn bravely or give up. Queen Amelia closed the door behind her. The latch clicked with a softness that belied the weight of what she carried. Alistair sat at the desk where she had found him countless times before, though never with this expression. Part stricken, part strangely open, as if a great wound had also created space. He looked up. "Has James told you?" he asked. She nodded. "I watched the message before you did, so you know we stand at the edge," he said. Amelia crossed the room and took the seat opposite him. For a moment she didn't answer. She studied him instead. Her husband, her monarch, the man who had navigated decades of storms with a combination of stern resolve and private tenderness. Today, that armor had fractures. "The edge," she said finally, "is where every meaningful beginning happens." Alistair huffed a breath that was not quite a laugh. "Is that what this is? A beginning? Because it feels very much like an ending." "It can be both," Amelia said. He leaned back, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "The country expects something. Leadership, certainty, a plan." "They always expect a plan," Amelia said gently. "Even when the only honest response is that everything has changed." He lowered his hand, revealing eyes that were older than she'd ever seen them. "What would you have me do? Announce a distant cousin as heir? Pretend this is a small bump? Something easily plastered over with ceremony?" "No," Amelia said, and the word held the firmness of a bell being struck. "Because the cracks are not in the ceremony. They're in the structure." Alistair looked at her sharply. "You sound like the newspapers. I sound like your wife?" she replied. "Who has been watching the slow thinning of this institution for years." Silence hovered. The kind that was neither strained nor comfortable, simply full, waiting. "What are you suggesting?" he asked, though she could see he feared the answer, or perhaps feared that he might already know it. Amelia folded her hands in her lap. She had spent the walk here choosing the first sentence carefully. It had to land softly enough not to shatter him, but boldly enough to open the door. "Alistair," she said, "if the monarchy is going to survive, it cannot remain a bloodline. It must become something else. Something representative. Something real." He inhaled slowly. "Representative. I suppose you have a list of alternatives. Councils, committees, selection panels, Parliament taking the reins." "No," she said. He blinked. "Then what?" "A family," she said. Alistair stared at her for a long moment, trying to decode the simplicity. "We already have a family," he said. "Or did." She shook her head. "I don't mean by accident of birth. I mean deliberately, thoughtfully, with purpose." He leaned forward. "Amelia, speak plainly." She took a breath. "Adopt," she said. The fire cracked. Somewhere outside, muffled voices swelled again. Inside the room, Alistair froze, his mind briefly unable to process the shape of the word. "Adopt," he repeated, as if tasting it. "Yes," Amelia said. He sat back, stunned. "You're suggesting we adopt a child? From where? Why? How? What would that even—" "Not one," Amelia said. Her voice remained calm, but firm. "Children. Several. From across the country. From different backgrounds. Different stories. A family that reflects the nation, not the aristocracy who shaped it." "Several," Alistair said. "How many is several?" "I'm still thinking," she admitted. "But not 2 or 3. Not a token. Something meaningful. Something that makes the entire country stop and realize that the monarchy is not retreating. It is reinventing." Alistair stood abruptly and walked to the window. The sky was now a uniform gray, London pressing its weathered face against the glass. Photographers were gathering at the gates, sensing blood in the water. "Emilia," he said without turning around. "This is madness. It is unprecedented," she corrected. "Which is not the same thing," he faced her. "Do you understand what you're suggesting? Bringing children into this life? Into the scrutiny? The expectations? The history? They are not born into this world. They will not be prepared. They are already prepared," Emilia said, "because they have lived lives that require more resilience than any royal upbringing could ever teach." The intensity in her tone startled him. "These children, whoever they are, have already survived the sort of real-world hardship that our son never had to face. They would bring strength, diversity, modernity, humanity." Alistair came back to the desk slowly, as though gravity itself were thickening. "And you believe the nation would accept strangers as potential heirs?" "Yes," Emilia said. "If the process is transparent, if the intention is pure, and if the children themselves are allowed to grow and thrive without being molded into exact replicas of us." He sank into his seat. The chair creaked softly, sympathetic. "You want to rebuild the royal family from the ground up?" he said. "Yes," Emilia replied simply. The fireplace continued its delicate, persistent song. Emilia watched her husband as he stared down at the folded coronation oath still lying open, as though reading the invisible words between the lines. He lifted it, holding it lightly between his fingers. "In all the history of this realm," he said quietly, "not one monarch has suggested anything like this. And yet," Emilia said, "we stand at a moment no monarch has ever faced. A monarchy without a future heir is not a monarchy. It is a waiting room." Alistair looked at her, and his expression shifted, just a fraction, from stunned to contemplative. "What would it mean?" he asked slowly. "To build a family designed to serve the nation, not inherit it? That," Emilia said softly, "is the question that could save us." He studied her face, the steadiness, the resolve, the faint flicker of hope she was trying not to reveal too soon. "And these children," he whispered, "where would they come from?" "Everywhere," she said. "A council estate in Cardiff, a foster home in Birmingham, a fishing town in Cornwall, an inner-city school in London, a farm in Yorkshire. Places that have never been invited into these halls." He felt something shift inside him, small, like the first crack of thawing ice, but real. "Several children," he murmured again. "Not one, not a symbolic gesture." "A full family," Emilia said. "A mosaic of this country." "A mosaic," he said. "Or chaos." "Yes," she agreed. "But living chaos. Human chaos. Britain in miniature." He exhaled, long and slow. 32, he said suddenly. Emilia blinked. "What?" 32 children, one for each county of the United Kingdom's historic administrative divisions. She stared. "Alistair, 32, he repeated, and the words seemed to crystallize in the air. Not a token, not an idea, a statement. For the first time that morning, something like life flickered in his eyes. Emilia felt her breath catch. "Are you serious?" she asked. "I am," he said. "Though God help us, I do not yet know how." A knock interrupted them. Sir James's voice floated through the door. "Your Majesties, the Cabinet Office is requesting an urgent statement." Emilia rose, and Alistair stood with her. He rested a hand briefly on the back of the chair. 32 children, he whispered, as though confirming it to himself. 32 chances to begin again. Emilia stepped beside him. "This will frighten people," she said. "Yes," Alistair replied, "and inspire them. That is what transformation does." She reached for his hand. "So," she asked quietly, "shall we tell the country?" Alistair drew a breath, steady, clear, and entirely new. "Not yet," he said. "First, we tell the palace." He opened the study door, letting the noise of the world rush back in. In the quiet room behind them, the fire burned higher, as if delighted by the spark it had witnessed.